Welcome to Ancient Greece News. Today I'm here with Princess Athena. Hello. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. So recently here in Greece, we've had some mysterious deaths. So mysterious. And very tragic. So tragic. So today we're going to try and get the princess to help us solve this mystery. I'll do my best. We're going to go find our first bone. Now we must find the rest of the bones. Where do you think they are, princess?
You know, I really can't say. I don't see any around us. Maybe they might be in a whole different country. Like, the Romans probably took them.
Let's take a walk and find out. Let's go for a walk and find some more evidence.
Look at all this trash. We must be in Rome now.
Okay, it looks like we've crossed the country borders and are entering onto a new territory. What is this bone here? Princess Athena, can you please identify this bone?
Well, it's definitely a long bone. Appears to be in the humerus of the body.
The humerus. And where is that in the body, princess?
It's in the arm.
Excellent. To Greece News, and today we're here with an eyewitness from the attack. Can you tell us what you saw, please?
I saw a cyclops carrying the skull of a human over into the bushes, and the body was just laying over there. It had been decapitated. You couldn't even tell what the human was.
Do you know where the head had gone?
Over into the bushes, I think.
Interesting. That would make sense as to why we saw it in a tree.
It would. It must have been having a snack.
Do you know anything else? Have you seen any other victims?
No, I haven't, but I did see a cyclops running around with blood on his hands.
That is very interesting. We will have to look into this further. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Greece News. And today, after experts removed the bones from the scene of the crime, we are here with forensic anthropologist Miss Talapa.
Hello. So normally I would work with a mortician and a pathologist assistant to help identify the body and what happened to them, who they were. But since the bones are kind of broken apart and we don't have all of them, complete body set of bones, I've been brought in to individually analyze the bones so we can really get the full story.
Let's go take a look.
Hello and welcome to my lab. As a forensic anthropologist, I evaluate different bones to help identify what happened. So, in this case, we have a skull. It appears to be missing its mandible. Interesting. We have both humerus bones and two femurs, it looks like. Now, this is my method of evaluating bones is helpful for disaster victims, identifying them, what happened. In this case, there are quite a few markings on the bones which might show evidence of an animal attack, perhaps a bear or a cyclops. There are four primary identifiers that we're looking for when we evaluate these bones, and those four are sex, age, ethnic origin, and height. We can look at those by kind of looking at the skull, for example. The shape of the eye can tell us about the gender and also the race. And evaluating the length of the femur, or the humerus, we can look at how tall the person was. And in addition, we probably need the pelvis to look at how old they were, but we can look at some wear and tear on the bones to kind of make a rough guess as well. Alright, so continuing with the skull, we can actually create a pretty realistic reconstruction of the face by looking at the report of the tissues that are left behind from decomposed bodies. I work with a pathologist mostly to put the skull back together if it's broken apart. In this case, mostly together, missing the mandible. This reconstruction, we normally use clay to kind of build over the skull with the tissue reports, and it's not an artistic thing. You have to follow the science exactly, otherwise it won't be realistic, and the picture, to say that we paint, of the person with their skull won't be as accurate, and it'll be tough to identify them. So it's very important to follow the scientific findings, and we can also use dental restorations to make the teeth, but in this case we've got pretty much all the teeth, so I think we're good.
Thank you, doctor, for all of this valuable information.
Of course.
Do you have any conclusions that you can draw based on your findings?
Well, based on the skull and the length of the humerus, I think we can conclude that this was most likely an Asian female, about 5'4", and probably 30 to 35 years of age.
Interesting. And having heard the eyewitness reports and different people that were on the scene and their account of the incident, what do you think happened to this person?
I think the experts can all collaborate and agree that what happened to this poor woman, most likely, it was some sort of vicious attack by an animal. Yeah.
So what is the next step regarding this tragedy?
Well, the final step would be to look over the crime scene again and make sure there aren't any bones that we missed, and finally identify her, hopefully look through some reports of missing persons, and put her body together as best as we can so we can provide closure for her family and friends.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your hard work, and thank you for letting Greece News interview you today.
Thank you.